the Spotlight Series. I'm your host, Scott Nerney. We are live on location at the Community Libraries of Providence with Taylor. Welcome to the Spotlight Series. Glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself before we talk about the libraries.
So I am currently a Children's Youth Services Librarian here at the Rochambeau branch. Previously, I did teen and adult services over at the Knight Memorial branch, which is a part of the Community Libraries of Providence. And then before that, I was just adult services, so I've kind of, whittled my way down the age scale. Now I'm working with just the littles, and it's wonderful.
In which branch?
At Rochambeau here.
Okay, great. So tell us a little bit about what a day is like for you here.
Definitely depends on the day. If it's my story time day, I read my stories, and then afterwards I have a really fun program called Music and Movement where we do like baby Zumba videos together. And then in theory, I'll either be helping people find different books, maybe helping somebody with a research project, connecting parents to different like resources in the area, all sorts of random things. You name it, I probably do it.
And what is the most common thing that people really come for?
Reader's advisory. It's a lot of, I find that I have a lot of families and a lot of kids who are looking for new books to read all the time. And sometimes it's great because, they haven't read a lot and you can recommend series after series. And sometimes it's really challenging and fun when you have a kid who's like, I've read everything in this room. And you're like, great, let's find something you haven't touched.
Well, in the old days, it was one book. There really wasn't a lot of series when I was a kid. I mean, there's George of the Jungle, Dr. Seuss, but that was pretty much it. Nowadays, there's a lot of authors that will do book after book after book and a continuing story. Does that really help the kids get involved?
I think it does. I feel like it's, a standalone story is like great on its own, but I feel like when kids can connect to, a character or two and then kind of see their journey, whether it's like, like the Rick Riordan books, or even, I can't think of another one right now, but like Ivy and Bean for like a little like chapter book. It's fun for them to see what these characters get into, and it's like, oh, that could have been me, like, having like a goofy adventure.
Much different than me thinking whether I'm going to have green eggs and ham.
Well, you still could today. You never know.
I still could. It wouldn't be very tasty. So talk about the age groups that you're typically working with. Yeah,
so here I work mostly with the younger side of it. I would say mostly like 0 to 8 is like my group. In the mornings, it's a lot of little kids, a lot of like young families who come just, story time, hang out, meet other families. After school crew is like, middle grade kids, so like 4th, 5th, 6th graders, and they'll come. We have Lego club, we have a drawing club, hang out with those guys a little bit, but it's mostly the young ones, younger.
And what are the challenges and rewards changing from working with the adults down to the small ones?
Ooh, what a fun question. No offense to any adult watching this or the one that I'm talking to, but boy, oh boy, is it a lot easier to work with kids. They take a lot more at face value, which is nice. There isn't too much questioning. No offense, like bottom of my heart, much love, but it's fun to kind of have to, when you talk to a kid, sometimes reframe things, because like obviously I wouldn't talk to a 3-year-old the same way I'm talking to you, so try to like especially when it came to like this like air art project, like trying to explain the idea of like what air is, and it's like, well, think about when you blow your nose. That's air. It's boogies, but it's air. But for you, you're just like, yeah, I know what air is. Like, I've been alive.
Well, it's funny. There's a phrase, and I have no idea for the last 20 or 30 years that I've been married, where it came from. Actually, I know I've been married over 30 years. But when the phrase came along, when it's very, very windy, we'll say, I can see the wind. Because you really can't. You can only see the effect of wind.
Yeah.
And we say that phrase all the time at the house. And, I think about that as to, how would you draw that? Now, that kind of leads me to the challenge of what you're going through as to how to show air. So talk about that. It's a project funded by the Rhode Island State Council of the Arts.
Yes.
So talk about that.
So it is a risk grant that we were working with Liliana Fijman with. And it was really fun to see how the project kind of came together from like first meeting and talking about, this like big idea of like what air is, what breath is, and like kind of deciding like, do we want this to be more open-ended? Should we like, have a guided project? Like how will other kids interpret this? And then Liliana found this wonderful like art bubble blowing like painting video. And it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, this is a great way to show what air is in like a really tangible and fun way versus it being this, like vague concept of like, yeah, you see the wind when the leaves blow, you see the wind when it ripples on the puddle, but like how do you make the air? How do you make the wind? So that was a really fun like way to conceptualize that for like the kids of all ages.
And did you find that kids really take the theory of what you're trying to go, and they kind of all go off in their own tangents a little bit?
I think that, like, I mean, it's kid to kid. Because there are some kids who are like, oh, okay, I blow the bubble, that's the air from my body outwards, it makes sense. Other kids, they blow the bubble and they're like, oh, this is the most fun I've had in like my entire life. And it's like, all right, at least you're having a good time.
And we should have had a demo here. Because I think I would like to blow air into a bubble.
It's great. I mean, it's very easy to do at home. I think it's like, it's food coloring, a little bit of watercolor, dish soap. I might be thinking of slime. Very similar ways. And then a straw, and you just blow bubbles.
And blow out.
Yes, blow out. Yeah, you probably don't want to inhale.
So talk to us about what the challenges were. Are you working with the kids and the parents, or
Yes.
what the partnership was like?
So it was fun. It was nice to see, like, because, we can only give so much guidance on, how to do the project. It's really kind of, up to the kid to figure out how to blow the bubbles, make the air. And it's like, it's great to have the parents there too, because they can, prompt their kids in ways that we can't, because they know them way better. So, when we're saying, like, push out, push your air out, the parent might be, remember how you do that with the milk? Do it like that. And then it's like that. So it was really nice to be able to have the parents there to help further facilitate the project.
And this is a big thing for Earth Day. Do they kind of get the linkage between Earth Day and what they were doing?
Yes. So we did talk to them all about that, about how, we have to think about air and our climate and, how we can, manipulate it in a sense to make our art, but also how it means so much to us. And since it relates to, all that stuff, we are doing the gallery opening on Earth Day, or near Earth Day,
Nice.
April 18th at Sprout Gallery. So everyone can see all the art done by all the kids, not just at our branch, but throughout the entire 9 system. So basically from the bottom of the city to the tippy top, which is really nice.
And that's at 166 Valley Street, Building FM.
It is, yes.
5 p.m., but it will be there longer than just the one day.
Yes, it'll be there for the whole month. So it's really nice because it gives people opportunity to go see it like continuously, because you do have a lot of families, who have to travel from all the way bottom of South Providence to get there, who might not have, just one day like during the week to be able to come see their kids' art. So it's nice to be able to have it open for the whole month so that they can, see it, enjoy it, and then maybe get it back if they want it. But you know how it is sometimes with art projects.
Yeah. And how many of your kids will have art there, do you think?
I think 12-ish,
Nice.
just about.
Yeah. And very young to...
Yes, our participants were the little ones. I think our oldest might have been like 5.
Oh, wow.
So it's the more abstract bubbles.
Yeah. No, then that could be the best.
I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah. And they're already asking what's next?
Always. They always want a new craft. They always want something else to do. They're a very artsy group. It's very fun.
Great. Well, maybe you can bring this back in different colors for different times of the year or something.
I think that'd be lovely.
Yeah.
I think everyone would like that.
Great. We're looking forward to it. I know that you've got a lot of competition out there with the other libraries, but hopefully you can take away the prize.
Thank you.
Which is probably new straws and some dish soap.
I hope so, because
Yeah.
I mean, we ran out, so better pay up.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for
so
coming.
much.